Hey guys, this is Kimberly, and you are watching Thriving on a Budget. I wanted to show you guys how I put together my most recent first aid kit. I always think these are important. I like to try to keep some of this kind of stuff in my car, in my house. I was just kind of updating a first aid kit for myself, for my home, for my family, and making sure that there's certain over-the-counter medications that we have on hand. Because honestly, we have no idea what's going to be going down the next couple months. And even if nothing happens to you, first aid kits are a good idea anyway. So let me show you. These are some of the open boxes and stuff. But like this might give you kind of a visual, like just because you buy it in a certain container doesn't mean you have to keep it in that. Like if it's going to fit in one of these things better. So this is actually a plastic tackle box that I got at Walmart. It's like $4, something like that. And some of these things I already had on hand because of previous first aid kits. And then some of these things I purchased to kind of make this a little bit more, I guess, expansive, if that's the right word. So let me show you what I got. So some of the really important stuff that I always think need to go in a first aid kit, because I hate pre-made first aid kits. Most pre-made first aid kits you can get at the store, like they're better than nothing, but it's got like a little miniature pack of like dollar store Tylenol and like finger bandages you can get from the dollar store, and they charge you way too much for what they're putting in there. So I like better things to stop bleeders. I got some rolled gauze right here. I got some compress. So if somebody got hurt and they're bleeding pretty bad, you rip open one of these. They are non-stick. So if someone's bleeding, I open up, slap that down on the bleed, put pressure on it, try to encourage their body to clot it to help slow down the bleeding. You can layer these if you need to. And then if you had to drive them to the hospital or the doctor's office to get stitches, that's when you're going to want this adhesive bandage wrap stuff. And I can show you what that came in. I got these at Walmart. So this one is self-adhering elastic bandage. It's the 3-inch one. This one's 2-inch one. It came in a 2-pack. But yeah, like this is what I wanted, but it did fit decently well inside of a tackle box. And you can get bigger tackle boxes if there's more things you want. This is what I did for right now. So these things alone, like you'll be grateful for that if you ever have somebody get hurt and you need to control some bleeding. I of course put some antibiotic ointment, because like if you get like super gross, if somebody gets like all skinned up on the sidewalk or like something nasty is what hurt them or cut them, you're going to want something to avoid infection. And you can get these at Walmart for 88 cents a tube. Otherwise, you can always get these also at the dollar store. So there's no reason that you're like, oh, I don't have any Neosporin or antibiotic ointment or whatever. It's when you can get it for about $1, like that's perfect. Another thing besides obviously bleeding is probably one of the first things we think of, but also like if someone has some kind of allergic reaction to something, I have some hydrocortisone cream because I've had to use this before on my family members a couple years ago. People got some bites and I had to kind of take care of that. So I'm a big fan of hydrocortisone cream. Calamine lotion's great too. This would fit better in here, so that's what I purchased. Also, in addition to the hydrocortisone cream, another thing in case people have allergic reactions, obviously, is some kind of antihistamine. And see, this could be a really vital thing in your first aid kit if you have people who get really bad allergies. Like, obviously, if they have like something that needs to be like prescription strength, obviously like an EpiPen or something, that's more important. But like this is something if someone's having an allergic reaction and you need to help with that. So these are pretty good. Obviously some pain meds. I got some ibuprofen in here, and I got, if I can get it out, some aspirin. See, and aspirin's good for a lot of things. Obviously it's another kind of pain med. But also, two things you could use this for that you might not think about is if someone has a heart attack or if someone gets a sunburn. These are actually really good. I've had dermatologists tell me before, like, because I sunburn pretty easy, so I'm always coating myself in sunscreen. But if you have a mild sunburn and you take one of these after you've been out in the sun, it actually reduces your sunburn significantly. Obviously, don't take a whole bunch of them. Take as it, as prescribes, as it says. But this is a good thing to have on hand. This one, I got some mucus relief, as well as that's what the Vapor Rub's also for. Because sometimes in like the winter and fall, my family members get like really unfun viral stuff. There was, last year was the first time I've ever had to use Vapor Rub myself. Like I've used it on my daughter before, but I actually had to use some of this on myself last year because I got a pretty nasty viral thing. Mucus relief is always nice, especially if you get like one of those viral things where you feel like you're choking on mucus. Like that's super undesirable. Obviously I got some little gloves in here. That's always important. And then something that not everybody thinks about, glucose tabs. Obviously, don't go buy a whole bunch of this because there's diabetics that really need this. The reason I have this is because I'm hypoglycemic to a point, and I have almost passed out before on a couple different occasions when my blood sugar has dropped. So I keep one of these in my purse, and I have one in here just because I don't know what's going to happen. Like whether if my blood sugar drops really crazy, or if I happen to be around someone who's diabetic or something, like I'm good at sharing. So I have those on hand. I do have a thermometer as well as some thermometer covers. If you don't have the covers, you obviously can use like little alcohol wipes or something. But I think I even got this thermometer at the dollar store. But I took it out of the box, put it in here. Some more stuff we got going on back here. So like this is the compresses, and I got some alcohol rippable swabs. Those I actually got at Smith's or Kroger stores, for those that your stores are Kroger. This one, these are waterproof dressings. I can show you what those look like. I got those at like a bulk supply store near me, and I thought these were a good idea just because you want to keep things clean. But this is what I have so far. I will probably make this more expansive in the future, but I figured just for like the couple little things. Oh, also, sorry, Tums. Like, obviously, this is not, like, the most life-threatening thing in here. But if you're someone that gets heartburn and, like, let's say a whole bunch of crazies buy everything out of the pharmacy section, that would suck. These are just nice because nobody needs added discomfort right now with everything being crazy. So, those are important. And if you're really in a pinch and you can't get a hold of antacids, you also can mix baking soda in water. So that's another option. I also got my little tweezers in here. This, I actually was pretty surprised. So I do not like pre-made first aid kits most of the time. Like I said, I feel like you're overpaying for what's in there, and I don't feel like you have some of the more emergency level stuff in it. But this actually came in an old first aid kit I bought back in college, and I actually was decently impressed by what's in it. So another thing to think about is if you have a computer and you can print off some little things, some guidelines on stuff, or if you happen to have something like this lying around your house. So this, if you open it up, sorry, there's my knee. But it has all the different things for you to look at, like amputations, broken bones, burns, and things like that. And you just kind of flip through here, and it will tell you what's the best way to handle it. Like if someone had a finger cut off or something, like how to properly pack it, how to handle a lot of different bleeding situations, chemical burns, choking, things like that. I was actually reasonably impressed with this because I expect, like when I found this after all these years, I'm like, oh, I had this for my first aid kit. I opened it and I expected it to be garbage, but it was actually pretty helpful. But these are the things that I've put together in my first aid kit. Hopefully, I know, honey, mommy's talking. Hopefully this was helpful to you, and this can get you thinking about things that you might want to have set aside for emergencies. This is Kimberly, and I hope you guys have a good day. Bye.